Everyone, it's Steve Laurvick, your online marketing guy. I'm here today with a friend, a colleague, an author, an expert marketer named Rob Cuesta. Rob has a book out called Premium, and for many years he has worked with clients teaching them how to give their business an edge over the competition using primarily the internet. He basically believes that anyone who properly markets and positions themselves can make more money in less time by charging more for their services because they position themselves as an expert. And we're going to discuss today his book, also his show that he has on iTunes, Joined Up Marketing. And I welcome you, Rob. Thanks for coming today.
Thanks, Steve, and thank you for having me on the podcast.
I appreciate you taking your time. I know you're very busy. You're scheduling a trip to Europe shortly to work with some clients and bouncing around. Rob is based out of Toronto. How's the weather there this summer?
Oh, it's been very changeable. We've had everything from massive thunderstorms and tornadoes 20 miles away to sweltering hot weather, the same as you'd find anywhere in the Midwest.
Yeah, I come from the Midwest. I'm in San Diego right now, but my family, they've had some pretty rough weather up there. I think they've been dealing with tornadoes and things.
Yep.
Anyway, I'm going to switch to screen share, Rob, and we're going to go through some of the things that you do to help your clients and look at some of your content, and we'll take it from there. I'd like to start, though, by just having you explain for folks where you came from, the history of what you have done for your clients working on the internet, how things have changed since the dark ages ended after the internet was launched.
Indeed.
Please tell us a little bit about your business.
Yeah, so the business started back in 2002 when I left what was a successful consulting career for one of the big management consultancies, and started looking at internet marketing. And it was back in the days when there were probably, if you had a website on the internet, then you already had a massive edge over your competitors, and you were probably unique in your marketplace. The problem was very few people had websites. Even fewer people were looking for websites, and pretty much the only way that you could be found back then was if somebody else told a buyer that your website even existed. So somebody had to find you in the real world, you told them about your website, and they came and found you on the web. And that's why back then most websites were pretty much just brochures. You had a printed brochure in your shop or in your office, and you reproduced it as your website, and nobody really cared because it was magical that you had this website that they could visit on the internet without having to go anywhere to look at it, and everybody was incredibly impressed by it.
Right. So I mean, all it took was if you were on the internet, you were a celebrity.
Yeah, absolutely. You must be an expert in your field because you've got this global showcase.
Right. So that was like pretty much 2003, probably around that time. Not many people really understood the internet. Not nearly as many people used it.
Yeah.
But things evolved rapidly. And so. How did you position your clients at that time? How did you put them ahead of the people who were on the internet? What did you do?
At that time, it was I was changing the focus of the content of their websites, and you still need to do that, because what I did was I changed it from talking about the company and having this brochure to talking about the potential buyer and the problems that they had, which we still need to do. People come to our website and they don't want to be bored by how wonderful your product is and how many widgets it's got and how much they'll get out of it. It's what's my problem and is this a solution to my problem? And so even making that small change was a massive revolution for clients back then. And as more and more people came online, that became even more important because suddenly they weren't the only show in town. And so that was what made them stand out for visitors to the website.
Right. In preparing for this, you had me go back on the Wayback Machine.
I did.
This is the one. This is one of your sites back in what year?
Yeah, that was some actually it's at the top there. It says 2005. So.
And this, I mean, it's a good looking site. I mean, but back then this was probably knocked people out, right?
Yeah, absolutely. For one thing, it didn't look like it had been created in what was the one that everybody used to use, Microsoft front page back then.
Right.
And you could always tell when it had been created in that because the menus had a certain look. Half the websites in the world had flowers because that was one of the standard templates, sunflowers. And websites looked like they'd been created by your nephew as a high school computer science project. So the fact that that one didn't, even though it was full of every cliche, it was for motivational and soft skills courses. So you've got pictures of people holding their arms up, and I think if you delve far enough, you'll find a water droplet picture, which of course was obligatory for coaches and consultants back then as well, because you were making ripples in your market.